But when we look at the situation, when we look at the migrants at the border, they were coming over here. They didn't need to be vaccinated. They didn't need to be tested. They didn't need to be nothing. They were given a cell phone, a flight on a nice jet plane, a nice, jumbo jet, 747, fly them over here, land them in different cities and airports, you know what I'm saying? Get them some cash, and send them into the city, and many of them in houses now, 3-bedroom houses, and and so forth on, where the American people sometimes can't even find a house. All they ever stuck in is a damn apartment, especially here on Long Island. But when you look at them, they come over here and they go right into a 3-bedroom big ass house. You know what I'm saying? So the replacement theory in more ways than one still speaks for itself. You know what I mean? And we have to now understand that. You know what I'm saying? So while the American people is playing bullshit with their vote, they better vote correctly to make sure that you have a tamer inside our government. And not only that, he still needs to be protected in that matter and followed up by another individual who is not on the take, not on the bullshit, on the same plan as the president. The only guy I see doing that right now, in all ways, is Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's Donald J. Trump. I've seen him, saying fighting for America and American values. You know what I'm saying? Creep Joe Biden is saying it, but he's destroying it. And that's the simple way you have to look at it when it comes to the border crisis. You know what I'm saying? You saying one thing and then saying nothing or doing anything about it, but saying that you are, making little gestures, but the plans still go on, you know what I'm saying, of unprotectedness and the fluctuation to the point of a replacement theory. Because one has it in, the others don't. And yet still you let them out across the city anyway. So while you lie to the American people and tell them about, this great virus coming and this pandemical bullshit, just to get them to get this stuff in them that would shorten their lives. If their lives are shorter, let's give it another 40 years, you know what I'm saying, where many might of us might not be around, but another 40, 50 years, you know what I'm saying, they're going to start to populate throughout those years and even beyond. So eventually, you know what I'm saying, many Americans going to find themselves in this. And this is one of the things that your children is going to, remember that you did nothing about. So if you don't get it together and have more control over the situation now, then you're going to find yourself, or your children going to find themselves in a very, very tough spot and might even be pushed back into discriminatory, you know, saying discriminatory and even probably even slavery, because you will not, which we are now because of many things they're doing and how they treat us. You know what I'm saying? We must break these chains for all Americans. You know what I'm saying? And their children. This is why they even did it to the children as well. You know what I'm saying? So even so by you doing it to you, and then you doing it, you making your children go do it and doing it to your children. So now your children, your children, that's supposed to go on after you, life could be shortened, and not only that, will not be able to produce any more of your race. So your race will die out. You know what I'm saying? When you make wrong decisions, or you make hasty decisions, or you let somebody make you believe that you have to make a hasty decision or a decision that would have made you a criminal, you know what I'm saying? You know something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Went to the procedure in itself. And the World Health Organization and the CDC and Bill Gates and his affiliation with these medical issues that seem to have so much say over our medical issues, you know what I'm saying, in the point of having to be able to invoke many of the protocols and shit on the American people to where you could shut down a whole city, you know what I'm saying there is a pandemic and a virus, which was a lie to me. But you shut down whole cities, you put people out of work, you weaponize the very government in itself just to get something in them. Anthony Fauci is definitely a product of this, you know what I'm saying, schematical plan. And people are still sitting up there believing that there was a great virus, a dangerous virus, and so on and so on. This is not to downplay any medical procedures that you may need as an individual when you get sick or aging or whatever the case may be. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But now these things have to be scrutinized sometimes and looked at more carefully. Many of you parents do things on a routinier base. You're not doing it because you did the research into the medical understanding and know the products in which is being put into your child or you. So when this happened, automatically you would have, and many had, a scattered understanding of anything that was going on because they were being bombarded by the weaponization of the government. You see what I'm saying? Facts are point blank. You know? So we still see the bullshit that's going on. And this is why I was saying in more ways than one that during the pandemic or whatever they wanted to call it, that people need to take and take a look at it. Don't just run out and go shove it up into your arms and so forth on. Because now, like I said, the CDC, the World Health Organization, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, or whatever you want to call them, and all these people just facilitated one of the most Luciferian, dangerous plan on this planet that I've ever seen in a long time. You know what I'm saying? In a long time. They did it before. You know what I mean? You know, and people went right along with it. And the government sat there and blocked any attempt by anyone, any people to say that they're not going to do that. Even struck out a medial campaign to shut down the social media platform people and customers or people who are on the platform shutting down their platform. Same as we see with Walmart and any other store. When you go into it, they want to get your email and all of this and that, turning your phone number and all that different bullshit because they're garbage. And I really don't care what they hear or know. You know what I'm saying? Because we know who you're reporting to, and nobody's stupid. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we see where they do these things. And people sit up there as if like this had to happen. So this time around, if you don't get a grip on your political presidential nominee or presidential candidate and put the right person in there who cares about the country, who speak about the country, they're blackballing him as the dirt to make sure he don't get in there because if he do, he's going to straighten out a lot of the corruption. And believe me, it's successful. And it always been for a very long time. So you have somebody who's going to be able to straighten that up. So you have to place your vote in its rightful place. Many of the other candidates I don't trust at this time. The only one I trust is Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? And I don't trust no one really, but I don't trust him when I say trust based on the fact that he is going to do what he say he's going to do. Because he know for well the American people and everybody's going to be looking, especially the Democrats. Look how much they're on his neck right now. So imagine when he gets in there You know what I'm saying? What he has to do. And he knows for well all that rhetoric and talk, you know what I'm saying? He gonna have to come up. Now, when you put Creep Joe Biden in there, he didn't have to do that. And all the corruption he did prior to when he was a vice president, or so-called wannabe vice president, a nutcase really, along with Obama, Dama, Obama, you know what I'm saying? And going back even to his early career, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do anything. He could lie, he could cheat, he could come back and say, I'm sorry, but I made a mistake, you know what I'm saying? And it blows away 20 years later, and so on and play around in our government and do all this bullshit and nonsense, you know what I'm saying, to this country that he and his family or whoever did in itself. He didn't have to come. And even when you cheated his ass in there and run around the country, like Banshee's talking about Black Lives Matter ripping up towns and cities and all kinds of groups coming out doing the same thing and carrying on and Banana Bull Jones, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to because he knew for well that all your clown motherfuckers who voted or corrupted the country into chaos just to get to cheat the election in mail-in ballots and all types of bullshit. Nancy Pelosi, done so. Talking about and setting up a riot and all this different bullshit and lying to the American people by all means all across the board. They had to come up. Come up for what? They wasn't coming up. They were coming down on Trump. But it won't have to come up. So meanwhile, they're telling you this and telling you that and making your eyes believe that they're saving you from the great red man, yellow man, or red man, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? The orange man, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Making you believe that. You know what I'm saying? You as a people voted this man and pushed this man in. Meanwhile, the rest of it was done by probably cheating and corruption. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't place your vote in the right place this time around and make sure that you put the great Donald J. Trump in there so we can straighten shit out, you know what I'm saying, level shit off all across the planet, including the Gaza Strip as well. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna find ourselves in a bad light. You even seen many people making predictions about AI. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where Donald J. Trump was handed in Colorado, you know what I'm saying? He was handed a big legal defeat in Colorado. Yeah, because Colorado full of shit. This is coming in by trading chief, Newsbreak contributor. At least the standard time was given. You know what I'm saying? Well, we see a Colorado state judge hands the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, his first defeat in the drive to bar the president from the ballot. How the fuck you gonna bar the man from the ballot, you stupid motherfucking judge? Who the fuck is this idiot? Another jackass in the vote, denying the man his rights as even a standing president cheated out of his reelection and then fighting to get his reelection back in order. And you sitting up there, see, that's what I told people in the very beginning. All these attacks and all this bullshit that Alan Bragg, Letitia James, and that they are demon democratical people. They are cultic. They're part of a cult. So they're going to do all this shit because this is their job. This is what they have to do to keep the demon Democrats and their cultic behavior in office. This is why you have to take a vaccine in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And was forced into it, really. You know what I'm saying? But Trump filed a declaration of intent to appear, you know what I'm saying, on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? In the state on, and you notice each state that is denying him Colorado. Here we go. You say each state gonna try to deny him. Beware of that and watch this. This is where the people must stand up, you know what I'm saying, for Trump and support him against the judge's rules in the court based on blocking Donald J. Trump from becoming president of the United States again. The popular vote must be pushed in itself regardless whether they took it out or not. You know what I'm saying? And your words must be heard. It's the same thing if Donald J. Trump was not there. You know what I'm saying? Your words must be heard, because if you're going to choose any and anybody based on what you believe and saying that it is or it isn't, and it is not, this man is the only man right now this time that has to live up to his promise. He has to show and prove. This is where you want to put a president. This is the type of position you want to put a president in. You know what I'm saying? Based on the fact that he's has to do what he say he's going to do, and he's going to come in on that premise in itself. There is going to be no in between. You know what I'm saying? So in more ways than one, we don't trust everyone. We're dummies, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We see how they are trying hard to stop that, righteousness from coming forward in itself. You know what I'm saying? Even by one of their own. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the declaration is intend to appear on the ballot in the state on October 11th. Judge Sarah B. Wallace. Listen to her name, Sarah B. Wallace. Oh, yeah, we know her. You know what I'm saying? And her corruptive ass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And appointed of the state Democratic Governor Jared Poles. You know what I'm saying? Squash efforts. Listen, Jared Poles is Democratic. Democratic. DEMO. You know what I'm saying? The etymology is still the same. You know what I'm saying? DEMOCRAT. If you add a F and an N, you have demon graph. You know what I'm saying? So you need to start to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? But they squash efforts by Trump attorney to get a lawsuit brought on the behalf of six Colorado voters. Tossed it. Six Colorado voters tossed it. The suit seeks to qualify the President of the United States, you know what I'm saying, under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which bars those who participate in the insurrection. He did not participate in the insurrection because he was not there. So the only evidence you have based on saying that he participated in an insurrection, and he should not have to even be up here defending himself against you two jackasses, you know what I'm saying, is the fact that you said that he said this and said that. And many of his other conglomerates who are probably to me lying, you know what I'm saying, like Michael Pence and many others who even barred him from going back to the White House, saying that he choked somebody and he was forcing them and he was carrying on like that. But the fact of the matter is, he still was not there. So what you is running on is the fact that he and you censored many of the things that he did prior and during and after that would show the truth in the lying ass bullshit that you are trying to show here in this court. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at it, he wasn't there. So how did he participate? So now you're saying the phone call was based on him trying to do that. No, the phone call was not based on him trying to do that, so the phone call is garbage. Second thing he tried to say when he went out to speak to the people, he said this and said that, but you never played the whole thing, the whole clip. All I saw was a clip. You trying to say that he went out there and told the people if they're going to save the country, they got to go up there and bang them in the head and trash the place. And he didn't say that. So when we look at a rebellion, the rebellion was not based on Donald J. Trump because there is no evidence of him being there other than when you said that he said that on stage. And you added in the phone call, which was a wrong move. That's how I got you. You added in the phone call as a part of that. You see? In the overturning part as well. Seeing that he called out and told him to go out and overturn the ballots and cheat the ballots and give him 11,000 votes or whatever he was looking for, which is bullshit. And you know it. So when we look at Sarah B. Wallace, not case Wild Nicholas ass, and the demon Democratic who under the Biomedical Luciferian as well as these, notice all of them are Democrats. Everybody is attacking Trump is a Democrat. So this is more than just what we're seeing before our eyes based on a overstanding of a political candidate or a guy running for re-election as a former president seeking another term due to the corruption that put him in this position. So when we see these two and they're deemed Democrats, say with Letitia James, Alan Braggs, you know what I'm saying, and all Anthony Fauci, killing motherfucking weasel, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, Obama, Bush, Hillary, all these motherfuckers that's coming at Trump, has truly shown the true colors of the demon democratical war machine against the world itself. In the matter that you would spend all your time and strength to to trump up criminal charges against a standing president to make sure that he is and then cheat him out of it, push him out, and then make sure that you demonize him all the way up to the next election, that you can say that each state, especially demon democratical state, will not put him on the ballot as a as for the election coming up in 2024. But you have the demon Democrats on there. So we're beginning to see the Nazism in their behavior just before the war. You see what I'm saying? So we're seeing this in itself. You know, a totalitarian government, a Luciferian government, a Nazi government, a German Judeo Assyrian, all that shit mixed together, you know what I'm saying, against Donald J. Trump because they know full well that this man is going to flush them the fuck out. And he's going to straighten up the country. Even William Barr is up there talking shit. But we see where, on the behalf of 6 Colorado voters, the suit seeks to qualify him. And you saying he cannot seek office, a public office, holding public office because of the bullshit that your lying ass has put on him and have not proved it yet. The plaintiff, you know, and he shouldn't even be in court. The plaintiff contended based on the legal theories advanced by the demon democratical stupid ass cultic bullshit, you know what I'm saying, and never, you know what I'm saying, Trump Republican jurists, you know what I'm saying, that Trump disqualified himself by giving aid and comfort to an insurrectionist at the U.S. Capitol on. No, he did not. No, he did not, because he told them to call the National Guard. He told them to call the military. Nancy Pelosi done said, and Chuck the Duck evil ass Schumer that you reelected again, you know what I'm saying, was the ones who didn't call the House Speaker. They didn't do anything. They made sure that the plans of the group of people that was out there that was working for them got the plan done first. But didn't show us everything in every camera. You know what I'm saying? So we know you didn't prove it. So when we looking here at this, and you're squashing it, seeing this bullshit that he gave comfort, how did he do that? He wasn't there. I could see if he was at the White House holding the flag up front, coming down the lane, breaking in the building, making a formal charge. I didn't see that. You said he was in a motorcade, that y'all wouldn't bring him back to the White House, and said that he choked the person, did a backflip, hit him with a high karate chop. You know what I'm saying? You know, the cologne he probably was wearing was called high karate. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he didn't come back to the White House to see what was going on. He wasn't allowed back. I mean, what kind of plan is that? When a man has a right to tell you to take him back there and you refuse. While your plans was going on in the mix and all was involved. This corruption goes through every branch of military. This is why Lloyd Austin to me is no more than a demon. I don't give a damn if he was white. And many of the generals who may be involved? We don't know. And the FBI and many agents, this goes through all of it, through all the agencies, every single one you can think of. You know what I'm saying? Is a part of some kind of bullshit that's going down in our country. You know what I'm saying? And you have not proven that he gave comfort to anyone because you're saying it was on January mathematical Luciferian 6. You know what I'm saying? You saying it was on that time. So if it was done on that time, you know what I'm saying, and you saying that he comfort a insurrection at the U.S. Capitol on January mathematical Luciferian 6, 2021, this is despite the fact no legal authority has declared that an insurrectionist took place. You know what I'm saying? Where's the insurrectionist? This is what I'm still trying to figure out in itself. You keep saying an insurrection, but I didn't see it. What I saw was Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and whoever the motherfuckers, probably the FBI, the CIA, I don't know who was out there, but it was not Trump's people in itself. Trump people may have found themselves caught up in the mix. That's what probably happened. So, like I said, once something started, somebody leads the crowd and they cheering up, running, they run, and everybody's going and rushing and shit. You know what I'm saying? And doing whatever crime, like crying on like a banshee. You could expect that would happen. So now the Trump people have found themselves in a position, you know what I'm saying, that this is not what they came here to do. But now that it has gotten to the point where you're challenging the police and they're rioting and they're rushing and these people are carrying on and yada 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 and got the horns up there like a Viking and they and carrying on and this and that and that. All the people who were supposed to go up there and protest peacefully and patriotically are now caught up in a group of other people who mixed in with them and wilding, driving the crowd the way they wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? So we don't see an insurrection, we see a insurrection. You know what I'm saying? That's what we see, an insurrectory. You know what I'm saying? In itself. You know what I'm saying? So by you trying to disbar him using Section 3 of the 14th Amendment does that stand. And it's in and actually Section 3 of that is to me being used by these demon democratical judges in the wrongful ways. You know what I'm saying? In the wrongful ways. You know what I'm saying? The question instead includes what counts as engaging in an insurrection, who has standing to the challenge Trump eligibility, and who has the authority to enforce his disqualification if he is disqualified. None of them have that position. Even the High Court does not have the position of Section 3. Listen, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is old. It has not been truly, stress tested in modern times. You know what I'm saying? So you're using this law that should stand as a model, you know what I'm saying, said Jessica Levinson, you know what I'm saying, a professor at the Loyola Law School who specialized in election law. There are some big folks in the road where you can argue both ways. You know what I'm saying? Citizens, I'm sorry, for responsibility and ethnic in Washington, the crew, you know what I'm saying, CREW, is representing the plaintiff in the case. You know what I'm saying? Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, the original President of the United States of this time, you know what I'm saying, tried to overthrow the results of the 2020. No, he did not. Maybe those people that were there did that, but Trump did not do that. You could say, what's the name? Giuliani. But Trump didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He did not try to overturn anything. So if you're using a conversation from the phone call as that, then this case must be thrown out. It does not have legal space in the law to afford this type of case to drag on. You know what I'm saying? Because listen to what he said. Donald J. Trump tried to overthrow. Now, for him to overthrow, you tried to chump up many different witnesses to say that that was the case. Now, the question would be, how many of them can truly say that Trump called them on the phone and told them to do so? An email, a fax, something to show that Donald Trump, tried to overthrow the election by running through every single ballot, every single place, all through the states like Flash Gordon. That is impossible. So there has to be a more easier way, which would be email, fax, this secret message, a pigeon with a message on his leg. I don't know. A dove, that could fly all the way there and drop the message off. You know what I'm saying? For him to have them all do it on one accord. So we still don't see that evidence. So the question remains,